Hi, we're sitting down with Kylie Carey, a cake pop artist.
Yep.
So you make cake pops and you sell them. You have your own business, right?
Kylie's Pop Shop.
Very catchy. When did you decide that you wanted to make cake on a stick?
November 2011, I was at Costco with my mom, and I found the cake pop makers, and I told her that I had to have it. She said, "No, you don't need that."
You
I
don't-
didn't.
well,
I didn't.
obviously.
I didn't have my wallet, so I said, "Can you please buy it for me, Mom? I'll pay you back when we get to the house." And she said, "Fine, I'll buy it."
Did you pay her back?
I did, yeah.
Oh, okay. And that's when your business got started.
Yeah, about 6 months later, I became an LLC. I actually started my official legal business.
Wow. And how old were you?
I was 19.
And now you're
I'm going to be 22 in July.
a senior at George Mason?
I'm like a junior and a half
Okay.
because I
All
came
right.
from Nova.
Okay, so this is a long time you've been working on this then.
Yeah.
How did you first start it? Obviously, not everybody knows how to start a business, and I'm sure you didn't either in 2011.
I did a lot of Googling and how to start a food business in Virginia, and I found basically the resources I needed. I spent a lot of time at the Fairfax County Government Center, like asking them a million questions, trying to figure out what I needed to do this the right way. You know, I didn't want to get in trouble, or, you know, dealing with food is kind of tricky, and it can be a very serious legal issue if you're not doing it right.
Was it more difficult or easier than you thought it'd be?
It was more difficult than I thought it would be.
That's what I'd
Definitely.
assume.
I didn't have anybody that I could like turn to that had started their own food business, so it kind of was like my own adventure. I was looking out and trying to figure out how to do it, and I read a lot of books and I did a lot of Googling, like I said, and asked a lot of questions, and I finally found out the licenses that I needed, and I got
Wow.
into the farmers markets and I started doing that. So
Now, you got the cake pop machine or maker in 2011, you said? And I've always wondered, because I've never been a big chef or anything, and I've never owned my own business. Did you start off, I'm sure, making another recipe, or a
Yeah.
recipe that you knew of?
the first cake pops I made, I used a box cake mix, and you know, they were okay, but it was just box cake.
And has this evolved into your own recipe of cake pops?
Everything I do is from scratch, so I make all my stuff myself with my recipes. Most of them are adapted from family recipes or recipes that I've found and tried that I've really liked. So
And they are just recipes of cake, right? You just form them into the...
yeah, it's a little different than cake or cupcakes because it needs to be denser so that it'll actually hold up on the stick. Otherwise, it'll kind of just crumble and fall off. So they're more somewhere between cake and brownie texture. So this is my work area. This used to be just my little kitchenette with just a sink and a couple of shelves, and now I've expanded it into all of this. You ready?
They're cute. Yeah. I like this.
Okay.
These are already...
These are already baked,
Okay.
so they're ready to be decorated.
All right.
So you take just a little bit of chocolate.
Oh, it goes right through.
Yeah.
Can I try? Really? I washed my hands yesterday, so... Oh no, is that way too much?
You're good.
Are you sure?
You can't screw this part up.
Do I need to use a little force? No, I don't.
Nope.
I think I screwed it up.
No, you're good.
What other flavors do you make?
For my event tomorrow, I did chocolate, vanilla, red velvet, and lemon. Those
Wow.
are like my top 4 flavors.
How many do you think you sell each event?
Depends on the event. At any regular farmer's market, I usually go through about 100 to 200 of them.
Wow.
So,
Which do you sell the most of? Chocolate?
actually vanilla, because the little kids come up and they see the rainbow colors, and then that's what they want. So,
That would get me too.
yeah. Then we dip
Whoa.
in the chocolate,
The whole thing.
the whole thing.
Whoa.
You just kind of tap it on the edge there.
All right.
And you take the little cup with the sprinkles and you just, ta-da!
That's so pretty.
Sometimes a little bit will drip off on the end, but then once it hardens, you can just break it right off.
And eat it?
You could.
So just all the way in.
All the way in. Straight down and straight back up. And dip it on the edge.
Oh, why am I scared to like hurt skin?
Tap it.
I'm tapping it.
Tap it a little harder than that. You're not going to hurt it.
I don't want to hurt it.
You won't.
Just like that?
There you
Like
go. Now you take your cup. Make sure you got plenty of sprinkles in there. And just run it across the top.
I don't know why I'm being so sensitive.
You're so gingerly. Oh, be careful you didn't get any on the top.
I mean, we want some.
Of course. So that's basically the process.
That's redundant. I feel like, not redundant, but monotonous, I feel like, right?
I kind of go into like robot mode about it and just start dipping and rolling them in sprinkles and.
Give it a shot, Brian.
Yeah.
Meet Brian, our beautiful director.
Real good.
Good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're not supposed to talk, Brian.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding. Now, this type of art, and when I first heard we were going to be interviewing you, I didn't quite consider. I just thought of the baking aspect, but now I think of how crazy of a job this is, the marketing, and then you own your own business, so all the licenses behind that, and then you make all of them and you sell all of them.
Yeah. Some of the ones that you guys saw were some of my simpler ones, just coated in sprinkles or,
They look pretty complex to me.
coated in chocolate, but I do some fun ones too. One of the most popular ones I do is like for Thanksgiving, I do turkeys. And they're just like an upside down cake pop sitting on an Oreo with candy corn feathers in the back.
Oh, okay.
So they're pretty fun.
And
so I do a lot of different animals and stuff like that too.
Do you make those up or do you find them online? Or?
Yeah, I usually make them up. Sometimes I get a little inspiration from online or stuff that I've seen in stores, but usually it's all my creation.
And you sell these cake pops 4 times a week at farmers markets?
Yeah, from May to November, I do 4 farmers markets a week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Wow, and this is your full-time job too?
Yep. I used to work as a waitress, and I quit working in October, so I've been doing this full-time since then.
Wow. So how many cake pops would you think you make in a week?
In a week? A couple hundred, maybe 500 or 600 a week.
Wow.
During the busy season.
I was very impressed by your setup downstairs in that basement.
Yeah.
How many hours a day would you say you're making cake pops?
I usually don't bake on Sundays and Mondays, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I would say I bake 3 to 6 hours a day, depending on how much I need to make. Just if I have my regular farmers markets, it'll take me maybe 2 hours to prepare each day.
Wow.
And if I have bigger orders, then of course it takes longer.
And you're also in school, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are you majoring in?
I'm majoring in communications. I have a minor in business.
Okay, and that helps you with?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Now, the business side of art is a side that a lot of the artists we've interviewed don't have to deal with, you know. But how did you really I'm sure you didn't come from a background of business. You were, how old when you started? 19, you said? I
was 19 when I started, yeah. We have people in my family that have their own businesses, but like car lots and things like that, not, baking and selling things. So it was different. It was definitely something that I had to learn on my own.
You were telling me about that you were talking about a double sink or a
Yeah, that was one of the requirements. So, to have a home food kitchen, you have to have certain things, and one of them was that you have to have a double sink. You have to have, a side for soaking and a side for rinsing. And when I first started baking, that kitchen down there that you guys saw was just like it was like a wet bar.
It started off as the shelves or the cabinets and a sink.
And a sink, and that was
that's it, right?
And then when I started doing my business full time, I asked my parents if we could turn that kitchen into my kitchen. They said sure. So we started working on it. It's still, work in progress, but yeah, that's my kitchen that's been inspected by the state of Virginia. So.
And you said you didn't even need a state inspection, right, for the kitchen
To be a baker, it depends on what you're really baking and where you're selling. But I wanted to go on the safe side and just go ahead and have the inspection done.
And it looks a lot better to customers.
It does, yeah. Customers feel a little more secure if they're buying something from somebody who has the inspections and the licenses and the whole setup.
It's a headache, I'm sure. How many times
it was in the beginning.
How many times a year does he come in and check out?
Once a year, yeah.
Oh, that's it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not it. I mean, obviously, it's still a pain. But, I mean, I looked at when I went downstairs, I was like shocked. I was surprised by how much is down there. You have how big is that freezer? It fits how many pops?
That's a 7-foot freezer. And depending on, but I can fit a couple thousand cake pops in there if I need to.
And you said you only had a few in there when we went, and it was like, how many, 700?
It was like 700, 800 in there.
Oh my goodness. You were talking about all the different outsides, the different designs. How many different flavors do you make?
Oh gosh. Regularly for the farmer's market, I do vanilla, chocolate, dark chocolate, red velvet, lemon, those are probably the 5 that I always bring. And then I do seasonal stuff, like when the farmers start to bring their peaches, I'll do peach cake pops. In the fall, I do the apple cake pops, pumpkin cake pops in the fall. So I try to do as much seasonal stuff as I can. So whatever the farmers are bringing, that's what I try to. Like soon I'm going to be doing cherry cake pops because the cherries are coming out. So.
And do you buy them at the same farmers market? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Yep. All right, perfect. You were telling me just a few minutes ago before we started filming about, and this really shocked me, the 10-minute presentation that you had to do at George Mason.
So I did the George Mason Business Plan Contest 2013. I came in 2nd place. So basically what you had to do was submit a written proposal of, your executive summary. This is my business, these are my plans, and this is the future with my business. Here's my marketing, here's my product, here's my pricing. And they went through that group, everybody who submitted the written part, and they picked out, I think, 15 finalists, and we had to present.
And 2nd place you came in?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I came in 2nd place, so we did the presentation that day. We had to get up and have the PowerPoint and talk in front of an audience, and it was kind of like Shark Tank, you go up and you kind of pitch your business and hope that they like you. Then at the end, they did 10 minutes of questioning for each participant, so they would ask me questions about, if I were to win, what would I do with the money, and that sort of thing. So.
How many people were on the panel you were talking to during the 10
There were 4 judges.
And were they all directly related to the money that was going to be?
Yeah, they were either sponsors or they were really, influential people in the business world in the Northern Virginia area.
It was like exactly like Shark Tank then, huh?
It was, yeah.
Wow. Were you scared? Were you nervous about it?
Definitely scary.
2nd place isn't bad though, right?
No, not bad.
And you said this year you're going for...
I'm going to try again this year, hopefully. We'll see what's on my plate this fall when it comes up, but I'd like to try again. I think I can probably do that again.
Well, the first time you did it was 2nd place, right?
Right.
So I'm sure you're only going to go up.
I hope.
That'd be great. Well, is there anything you can tell us, or is there anything you want to tell all the viewers in here about where they can buy your cake pops or anything about your business?
Like I said, I do the farmers markets during the week. So Wednesdays I'm in Reston. It's on Sunrise Valley Drive, so it's not too awfully far from here. Thursdays it's at the Fairfax County Government Center. The ones during the week are all in the evenings, 3 to 7.
Okay.
And then Fridays we're in Kingstown from 4 to 7, and Saturday mornings in Burke from 8 to 12 in the morning.
Saturdays in Burke.
Mm-hmm. And all that information is, of course, on my website, kyliespopshop.com. And that's pretty much it.
Well, thank you so much for coming in today, Kylie, and I'll see you on Saturday, I'm sure, right? I've never been to a farmer's market.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.